we talk about it, but nobody's working.
Yeah, everything has just kind of slowed down. The only thing that is working, is like podcasts, internet stuff,
Yeah, and mazel tov to them. I have a lot of friends doing Zoom readings of plays and stuff, but I can't even watch those things. They drive me nuts. There's something about the Zoom experience that's extremely unfulfilling for me. So my friends do these Zoom shows, and I say, "Oh, good, honey, I'll be sure to watch it." I find an excuse not to. I'm not a good friend. Sorry.
No, I understand Zoom isn't for everyone. I haven't gotten used to it either. So.
Well, I don't know. It emphasizes for me the fact that it's not a real movie, a big, beautiful movie with the values we expect in a movie. It's not a movie. The people are not live, so I don't have the live presence of like theater. It's just like this kind of. It's like I don't know, something like everybody's in a capsule or something. It's like this like canned entertainment, canned show business or something. It doesn't appeal to me. A friend of mine is extremely skilled at musical theater, and he's just being so active. He's got a show that turns up every Sunday. It's like international. God bless him. It's called Director versus Director. It's online. And last week he had kids in the first half. I think it's an hour long. In the first half, it was kids from London, England, doing their thing. And then in the second half, it was kids from Sao Paulo, Brazil. And I say kids, not disrespectfully, but they were young performers. God bless them. And so skilled. It was frustrating that it was on my bloody TV screen, my computer screen, in little squares. It was driving me crazy. So I guess I don't like the medium. I guess that if you had to get to the absolute problem, I don't like the medium. It's flat for me. It's not exciting in any way. Kids were very sharp, the performers.
Yeah, I understand. The internet is a very complicated thing, really, but some of us have to use it for our work, and we have to adapt to it.
So, astounding people. I don't know if you know the wonderful political satirist Randy Rainbow. Do you know him?
No.
Oh, my God. He is brilliant. He's a musical comedy performer based in New York. Very, 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 very skilled. And does shows that are political comment and criticism. And he will take songs we all know from musicals, change the lyrics so that they're pertinent to what's going on in politics right now, and perform them. He's a brilliant man, and this is somebody who has used the internet extraordinarily well. He has a career. He has a show, a live show that he gets bookings for now all over the country. Hugely popular. And this young man did it on the internet. Just amazing. Just amazing. You can find him on YouTube, Randy Rainbow. Wonderful. I'm handicapped because, I swear to God, younger people were born with genes that people of my age and my generation do not have. They have internet skills. They know how to do it. They know how to make shows on the internet, how to use the technical end and record themselves and create shows. And mazel tov to them. Good luck to them. If I were young, I would be doing it. I actually have an idea for a show, which I'm not going to tell now because I don't want to get it stolen. But I have an idea for an internet thing, and I'm going to start taping it, recording it pretty soon. I think it might be kind of kicky. So Grandpa is joining the horde of people who are putting themselves on the internet, after all.
Excellent. That's awesome.
I'll let you know.
Definitely. My last question to you is, let's talk about your probably most famous role as the bride in black in Insidious.
Oh, I'd love to talk about that. Sure. What do you want to know?
Well, how did you get cast for that? Did you go in an audition, or did someone just recommend you, or?
No, I have a very good agent and a very good manager, and I get out and get seen for a lot of work out here in Hollywood, in LA, and I just got this audition one day. It was 2 pages of dialogue, which was pretty exciting. I should explain to your people that I am what is known as a day player around town. That means I never get to play a lead. I'll never carry a picture. I get little things that require me to work like maybe 1, 2, or 3 days. Once in a while, I'll get something that requires 5 days of work. So that's the kind of stuff I get. So oftentimes I'll get a script from my manager or my agent, and it'll be a page. It'll be a couple of lines. But baby, that's a day's work. That's $1,000 a day plus 10% for the agent. It ain't too shabby. So and there's thousands of people like me in LA. That's the major population of show business people in Los Angeles, day players. We are the backbone of the industry, and they can't do it without us. But none of us get famous, and none of us get rich. But I'm a day player. And so when a day player gets a script and it's black with dialogue, it's 2 pages of dialogue. Holy moly. And my character that I'm supposed to audition for has most of the dialogue. Oh, I was thrilled. And it was a scene. You remember the Insidious 2 where I did not create the role. It was created by an actor named Philip Friedman. He was in Insidious 1. The character was called the Old Woman back then. She had no dialogue. She turned up a lot with a candle, being very threatening. Mm-hmm. She threatens young. She's the person that's in the photograph when Elise takes the pictures of Josh, and all of a sudden there's a presence in the photo. That's the Old Woman, it was called then. She was renamed the Black Bride, and that's actually Philip Friedman. He created the role. When they were casting for part 2, for some reason, they were looking around for somebody. I don't know why, but they had me in. It was a scene, if you remember, in 2, after Parker Crane has sat up in the hospital and grabbed little Josh and screamed at him, and they have to pull him off. They have like 2 orderlies pulling him off away from the child. Mm-hmm. After that, in the picture, there's a scene where the young Lorraine, the mother, rides down in the elevator, and who's in the elevator but Parker Crane, this old man who is like comatose only yesterday. And she like babbles at him, and he doesn't respond. And he gets out of the elevator, goes down the hall, and disappears. And the charge nurse tells Lorraine, honey, Mr. Crane committed suicide this morning. It's a wonderful, scary moment. Well, originally, there was a lot of dialogue between Parker Crane and Lorraine. She apologizes for her little boy being so curious and getting so close to his bed and everything. And Parker goes off about how he was a curious kid himself, and he envies him being so young. And then he says something scary like, oh, and that wonderful room he has with all of the finger paintings that he did on the walls. He's such a lucky boy. And she, looks at him. How does he know about my kid's bedroom and the finger paintings on the wall? It's really a spooky scene. So I read that, put my back into it, and went away and forgot about it. 2 weeks later, my manager called up and said, honey, you got that thing. And I said, what? That thing, that horror movie. What's it called? Insidious. You got that thing. So I was thrilled. I got the role. It ended up being about 4 days of work because they liked my work so much. They wrote a new scene for me. It was really wonderful. But anyway, I go to work the first day, and we're supposed to shoot the elevator scene. And by golly, all of the dialogue has been taken away, and it's just Lorraine talking to me, and I'm just standing there looking spooky. So I was a little disappointed, but of course it plays wonderfully in the film. They were really smart. Having him be a zombie is much more effective.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I got that. I auditioned for it. I played the hell out of it when I got it. And I was surprised a few days after I was wrapped to get a call from them to tell me to come in. They had written a new scene. They wanted to shoot it. And that's the one in the film where Parker is standing at a mirror putting on the makeup. He's putting on the makeup, and he puts on the lipstick, and he puts on his mascara and the wig and the dress and everything. They wrote that for me, and of course it's a silent scene. It's just accompanied with music. And then he takes up that really scary-looking chromium saw and approaches the poor little girl to cut her throat. They wrote that for me on the, I think, I made this up, but I think it's on the strength of my presence in the earlier scenes. I strangle little Jock, and where I ride down in the elevator as a spook. And actually, I have a bit where I'm strangling Patrick Wilson as well. So on the strength of the earlier work that I did for them, they wrote me a new scene. And then, by golly, they were doing number 3, and they called me up and had me in for a scene in that where I strangle Lynn Shay, or try to strangle Lynn Shay.
Mm-hmm.
And then they asked me to do, they had a virtual reality thing they were filming with Lynn, and they wanted me in that too, so I shot that. And then this was this is a farm boy's dream. They were having a world premiere, thank you very much, of Insidious 3 at Grauman's Chinese Theater, which is the beautiful old Chinese theater on Hollywood Boulevard. It's pretty world famous. It's been around since 1927 when it opened. They decided they were going to premiere their horror movie at Grauman's Chinese Theater, and they asked me to come and put on the drag, the costume for the bride, and work the red carpet before the screening. And I did, and they paid me, which was great. But the cool thing was, people went crazy when the Black Bride appeared. It was like people really loved that character. They related to her. And everybody wanted to touch me and shake my hand and be photographed with me. And it got down to the gag where they wanted to be strangled by me. So I maybe posed to like 50 pictures with ladies and gentlemen strangling them while their friends took a selfie of it. It was really cool. And I realized, oh, wow, this character is popular. I should go out on the autograph and collectors circuit. So I did. I played about 5 conventions as the Black Bride, and it was really fun. There's a massive, massive audience for horror films out there, and they are the sweetest people in the world. It's so funny. They love horror, but they're the nicest people. So that was a wonderful experience that I got just by going to an audition that my beloved manager got for me and doing my best. That's the story of me and the Black Bride.
Absolutely, and that character has kind of become a cult classic horror character.
He is a cult classic. I have so many nice young Facebook friends, all of whom I met at horror conventions, and I got home and they immediately friended me, so I took them all on. And one of them is way into the Black Bride, and he lives very near Nashville, Tennessee, and he works a horror show every Halloween. I guess cities have them. You go to a haunted house, and it's all set up to scare you, you know. And he likes to go as the Black Bride in full Black Bride regalia and the wig and everything. And he got a fabulous mask. They have a mask that they sell that looks exactly like me as the Black Bride. He sent me a picture of himself in the costume and the mask and the wig and everything, and he looks exactly like me. So she's firmly entrenched into one little area of the national consciousness, which is really wonderful. It's not me. I always remind myself, it's like you're wearing a Mickey Mouse suit, brother. You're not the Black Bride. They're not. You aren't famous. The Black Bride is famous, but it's fun. It's fun to have played a character like that. I really am proud of that. I do have another gig that I did. Did you ever see Did you ever see Real Husbands of Hollywood when Kevin